In this video, we're going to talk about how to bring a hoop up into the background on your design page. It's very simple to do. You access the grid, or not the grid, but the hoop right here. On the left hand side, you can see that there's a hoop and there's a select hoop. So if I just click on this hoop icon right here, it's going to bring up the hoop that I used last, and this is like kind of the default hoop here. You can see that it is smaller than the design itself. Just for sakes of kind of seeing how big this design is, if I come over, select it all and come over, you'll notice that it'll fit within a 5x7 hoop, and that's definitely not what I have in the background. So if I want to change that, I can change the hoop. Now if I needed to fit the design inside of this hoop, then I would have to resize it, and that's something you can do too. And that's one of the nice things about the hoop, is that it gives you a visual representation of your design page and what you have to work with. So if you know you need to digitize a design to fit in a 5x7 hoop, I recommend that you bring up a 5x7 hoop. That way, as you zoom in and out and you start creating a design, you know what limitations you might have. So let's go ahead and click the icon below it, which is select hoop. So when I click on it, it's going to bring up the select hoop dialog, and you'll notice that you have a couple options. You have format. This is in the PES format, and that's if you're using Embroidery. You can choose any of the different format types here, and it'll bring up different options for you. So you choose the format for your machine to start with. Next, you come over to the hoop. So in this hoop, you can choose from different options here. Let's just select this 130 by 180, and I'm just going to hit OK. And you'll notice that it's taller than it is wide, and it's still not the right hoop for the job. So I'm going to come back in here, and I know that I need it to be, I want it to be wider than it is tall, and you can rotate it, so that's not that big of a deal. So if I go back and I just choose the same one, I can choose to rotate the hoop by 90 degrees right here. And if I choose to rotate it, you'll see that this is actually a 5x7. So this is something that is very handy. You can select different hoops by coming in here, and you just select the size for your machine by first choosing the format and then the hoop size, and you just select it from the drop down. But like I said, if it's rotated in a different manner, like if you need it to rotate 180 degrees, very simple to do. You just check this box right here, and I will do that a lot just so that I know I can see and work within the area, because I know I'd stitch it this way in the hoop. So the other things that you can do is you can create a new hoop. So if you click on this new, you can choose a format, you can put a description, and the description is basically this right here. If you want to keep like the same kind of format, you can name it whatever you want, and then right here you choose the width and the height, and you can choose if it's rectangular or circular. So if I want to do one that I'll say is 5x7, I can just choose 5x7 as my description, and I can come in here and I can type in the values. Now I can't remember what the value is, so let me take a quick look here. I have it selected up here. So if I want to just see it as a 5x7, now I can come in here, and let's say that I want the width to be 180 instead of 130, and let's say I want the height to be 130. So I'm basically creating one that is rotated, and I'm going to choose OK. And now you can see that it says 5x7 custom. So if I come in here and choose 100 by 100 just to bring up a different hoop, and I come back in by selecting the select hoop, and I hit this drop down because I use the PES format, the hoop I just saved is right here, and I can choose it and hit OK. Now I did this on purpose because I wanted you to see, if I come back here and select this, it kept the rotate by 90 checked, because that's what I had set before. So I would need to turn that off and click OK, and it will bring it up correctly. Now if you want to turn the hoop off, you just click on that icon, the upper hoop icon. To bring it back, you just click it again. So it's very simple to select a hoop, change the hoop size, create your own hoop. You can even, if you wanted to, delete a hoop. So you could select it and just hit delete and it will take it away. These are pretty much the only settings that I use when I'm creating a hoop or modifying it. I don't get into any of the other details. You can see that it will give you kind of overall inches as well when you type it in, not just that it was however many millimeters by, or centimeters or millimeters. It'll let you see what the overall shape and size is as well. So utilizing a hoop is handy. It gives you a visual representation inside of your design page to help you know that you're not making something too large. One of the other really nice features inside of the software that you have to be careful with at the same time is if I come back in here and I choose a 100 by 100 and I hit OK, if I select the entire design here, there is the option up at the top, an icon kind of in the middle that says fit to hoop. If I click this icon, it's going to resize the design to fit within this hoop. So when I select it, it's going to shrink the design down and put it in a size that will work in the hoop. Now, like I said, you have to be very careful. You can only really resize a design so much. There'll be a lesson on that. But you'll notice that in this text right here, it made it pretty choppy. I'm not saying that it won't look okay stitched out, but it's utilizing a very small stitch there. And so you have to be careful. You can't just resize designs without creating any issues. So you definitely want to analyze the design afterward, but you do have that option of a fit to hoop. So I could change this hoop back to a 5x7, and I could select everything in the design and choose fit to hoop, and it will make it larger. And you can see that it resized it. I am working with a WAF file, so it will resize much better than a design that was in a different format. But that's how you work with hoops inside of the Floriani software. I hope this video was helpful. Don't be scared to use hoops, especially if you want a visual representation of your design area and for the hoop that you're going to work with.